Good evening. You better not be staying up on my part, newest girl. You need your sleep. Even on stream, I can't help but not be the dad friend. Fuck. Hey, I'm snowed in all week. Ooh, yikes. I guess that's one bad thing about being back in the USA. Got a surprise blizzard. I'd seen, was it Luca? Who, like, posted an image of, like, what the fuck, it's April, and they clearly had a snowfall, and I was like, that seems early. 2 feet overnight. Okay, that's a lot. Jesus Christ. Well, I hope you're keeping safe. And you know I don't scold you for staying up late because it's obvious I'm clearly think you need sleep. Especially if it's... Hold on. I set my world clock up for this exact reason. If it's between 1 and 3 in the morning on a Thursday, but I guess you are studying again, so like, yeah. God. Sometimes I wish I would go back to studying, but honestly, like, being able to go home and just like, I don't have to think about work is a godsend. It's 4:20. Wait. Oh, sorry, I did that math backward. Because the thing I have is my time is on the East Coast, which would mean that the West Coast is later, not... Fuck. Set the damn thing up myself and forgot my rule of thumb for determining the fucking time. Why the hell did I even do that? Awesome. Anyway. We're gonna wrap up the 6.1 MSQ, now that we've had our little detour for the Alliance raid. If it doesn't last too long, probably just gonna do Elden Ring. I've been trying to think of, like, I love the raid too. It's very good. I wish I got a handle on, Ralga a bit quicker, but we can't be perfect. Yeah, so, like, just a heads up, this is probably not going to be a full FF14 stream if this doesn't take too long, which I don't know how long it's going to take. If there's a few hours left over, I'll probably do some Elden Ring. If there's less than that, I'm either going to call it or I might do something small in 14, but I don't know what. So, I'll kind of figure that out. Like, I feel like the next thing I really want to do is any of the side quests that aren't the role quests that were added in 6.1. I can't remember if Omega was or not. But the other thing that I would want to do is start leveling Paladin. But I don't know if that's a thing that I'd, like, want to do for just half an hour, if that makes sense. I probably want to sit down and do a little bit of thing. Hildebrand. Hildebrand is another good one. Because I have not done Hildebrand in a very long fucking time. Which one was the... It's... No. Which fucking quest is it? Blades toughening up. Uh-oh. I could unsync any trials left, but I don't really want to do that. I'd want to do them synced as much as I can. Where's the fucking... I'll look at that later. That's not important right now. What's important is MSQ. Reacher is warming to his role as Satrap. Clearly all those years behind the curtain were not spent napping. Veteran Radiant wishes to share his gratitude. Thank you for putting forth Kazal's name. Those whose lives were enriched will comfort in seeing his legacy honored. You will not forgive me for not... you will forgive me for not speaking sooner, but I bear a message from Archon Yustola. She asked that you meet her at the High Crucible at your earliest convenience. Oh, she's back. Okay. Well, that's good. Understood. Thank you. Stola must have finished her study of the Void Gate. Shall we hear what she has to say then? I will go with you. I thought the Satrap would be too busy setting up the foundation. My clerks have been the well-oiled cogs of this administration since before Arhewan assumed the office. They understand what needs to be done. And I am curious to learn what conclusions your Archon has reached concerning the gate's unique construction. As you wish. Allow me to lead the way, Your Excellency. He says, looking at me. Alrighty then. I do want to give, EX3 a shot. But I'm probably going to do that with my buddies, so I don't know when they're going to do it. I don't know if they actually did full re-clears of Pandemonium this week. I know they were planning on that, but whether or not they got that done... One who claims to be too late to save his sister, Vritra seems awfully interested in whatever revelations Yustola might have to share. Shall we hear what your scholarly comrade has to say? This is going to be a talkie,
right.
Isn't it?
Here we all are.
You discovered something new.
I took a closer look at that device. I was able to determine how it keeps the Void Gate sealed, but not how it might instead be employed to expand the opening. For that, I would need to reference the technique developed by Vritra's alchemists, no records of which appear to have survived the intervening years.
We know this, so why have you sent for us? Have you learned aught of value or not?
Patience, good sir. One must introduce the subject before launching into specifics. From what we understand, travel between worlds is accomplished by passing through the nebulous rift which exists between them. Picture, if you will, the moment you were called to the first.
Uh-huh.
You touched a focus of some kind to help the Exarch pinpoint your location. His summoning spell then channeled the energies of the Crystal Tower to begin your journey to his world. The magics tore a hole in the walls separating source and shard, and cast you into the intervening nothingness. In that place, the laws of nature hold no sway. Yet even through this realm of temporal and spatial instability, you were borne safely to your destination in the first.
Well, okay. A, Graha missed. B, there was someone on the other end that want... Oh, that's where she's going with this.
The feat that guided you across such an unimaginable distance, both physical and metaphorical, was nothing short of a miracle.
Then what of the many voids found in the source? Who guides them here, and how?
I mean, no one, and they just chance it, would be my guess.
An excellent question. Though there are several methods by which the Void's denizens might intrude upon our world, the rituals of summoning are the most typical. For example, let us consider the Gargoyle, a creature of middling power.
Yeah, someone from the Source channels the energies from the 13th and animates a gargoyle, right? So what we're getting at is we need someone in the 13th to be able to bring us there, to be able to get there with any certainty.
To call upon such an entity, the prospective summoner must force open a void gate.
Right.
The portal lasts but a moment and is relatively small, allowing only an imp or other lesser being to squeeze through with their physical body intact. Our more powerful gargoyle, however, is too large for that. Creating a gate big enough for him would require vast amounts of energy, far beyond the reserves of any one mortal practitioner.
I don't like that we're seeing a new zone accompanying this conversation.
Instead, 'tis far more common to bring over only the entity's soul. We had a taste of that ourselves when a certain exarch dragged us to the first.
Also true. But again, we're
And just as our bodies remained in our world, the Void Sense physical form is left behind in the 13th.
That would make sense.
Once at its destination, the summoned soul is granted a temporary shell to inhabit. In the gargoyle's case, a stone effigy has proven a suitable vessel.
Wait. You said that Voidsent must be called here deliberately by someone in the Source, reeled in like a fisherman with his catch.
Thank you, Estinian.
Exactly. For a being to navigate the chaos of the rift, with or without form, there must needs be a guiding agent on the other side.
Called it.
When the hordes poured forth from Alag's Great Gate, it was the technologists who drew them through. Though to my knowledge, planar fissures are in essence natural passages between our world and the void, which require no such guidance to traverse.
Also true.
Why is only the boundary between the Source and the 13th so fragile? So much so that it often tears open of its own accord.
Huh. That's actually a good question. If it's possible for the boundary between any reflection to be frayed enough to allow for tears, why does the 13th seem to be the one that's the most common? Is something trying to get through to the Source? Has it been weakened by things like the pact that Sunday formed? And the frequent void summonings that occur, because that's where people naturally go for some fuck you, I want power energy.
I believe solving that mystery is key to understanding travel between the source and its reflections.
And how do you intend to get your answers?
Like, it's possible, like, if I remember correctly, the 13th is a world the Ascians tried to rejoin with the Source, but tipped the scales too far, and thus it fell to void. So, it probably stands to reason that the 13th was close to rejoining, by which the ether, the abundance of ether in that place flowed through to the Source. But perhaps in getting to that stage and overshooting it, it's in a state where it's... Oops, Mike. Where it's not, like, constantly pouring, but it's got, like, a bias towards that ether going somewhere. Could also be, obviously, like, some entity that is actually controlling that. But I think there's really interesting stuff when it comes to the 13th, because it's both a world the Ascians failed to, join together, as well as probably the only reflection we know of that has an intense bias towards an element that hasn't already been rejoined. Even when you don't factor for the fact that, like, people have been fucking with the border between the 13th and the Source for what must be millennia now?
No. The danger is too great.
Perhaps. But what some call danger, others think of as adventure.
We sure do.
Were you not listening to my tale? Never mind that the means to expand the gate has been lost to the ages. Even could you force the portal wide enough, you would be greeted by an army of murderous horrors the very instant you step through.
Roshan, I think you've been out of the loop for a bit because I've been away. I punched the 12 in the face. I think I'm good. I think I might be alright. At least for a minute. Then there's like too much void.
I was most attentive. And I agree that to go alone would be certain death.
Uh-huh.
But if I were to bring along one who has already braved the 13th and humbled the cloud of darkness, well, I imagine my chances would be much improved.
Count me in.
I had a feeling you might say that. Once again, I put my life in your ever-reliable hands.
Oh, don't say that.
That said, as much as I would like to march straight back to the Void Gate, there is the small matter of being unable to open it without the Satrap's personal authority.
Let me beat
As
up
I've said
fucking...
before, I will grant you and yours any boon you choose to name, provided it does not endanger my people.
You know what? That's fair.
You have my word that we will take every precaution. Not a single void scent will be allowed to threaten Radzat-Han, assuming we manage to expand the portal in the first place.
You have a plan.
Actually, I had hoped you might help us with that. I presume the alchemists you retained supplied you with some explanation of their methodology.
Yeah, only Vitra slash Farshan would actually know of the method by which the portal was expanded.
That they did. House Daimir was overseeing the project.
Daimir. Ah, yes. The family associated with the great work.
I did not fully comprehend the theory, but their research began with a void scent which had slipped through the fissure. After a thorough examination, they created an arcane simulacrum possessed of similar qualities. A man-made void scent, if you will. It was apparently indispensable in their efforts to enlarge the gate.
A man-made void scent.
Yes. Being great admirers of the Archons, House Daymir submitted detailed notes to Charlene's official committee. They expected praise and accolades for their simulacrum, and were thus devastated to be informed that their work had been classified as prohibited material.
Oh. Of course.
If that's true, then those notes might still be stored in a forbidden archive somewhere. Not Google, of course, since that library had yet to be built. Which leaves us with...
Numenon. With the restricted section of Numenon, with Graha's favorite place to sneak.
Yes, it may very well hold a copy.
Picked option 2.
In which case, I say we head directly to Charlene.
Unless you anticipate needing help to reach the high shelves. I see myself being of little use. Go on ahead. I still need to find Mirad and tell him about the Khalzal Foundation.
Aw. Gotta reference my Catboy BF whenever the game lets me. Yeah, definitely valid.
Let us be on our way as well.
They are resolved to venture into the void. Do I sit idly by?
Oh yeah, newest girl. I got wind up as Zima first run through as well. I also got the minion from the new dungeon first run through as well, with trust. Yeah, hell yeah. If we're to enter Numenon's restricted archives with a minimum of fuss, then we must secure the permission of the Forum. First, however, we shall need to enlist the cooperation of a member to broach the matter on our behalf. Who do you think might be inclined to assist us? No one springs to mind? Yeah, Monteshane is like the first person. Do you pick up the pod mount as well? I don't have enough MGP. He did come to Graha's defense during the inquiry, after all. 'Tis settled. Let us head to Phenomenon and see if he's willing to help us once more. Stoller is now accompanying you. Hell yeah. Yay. I don't think we've had Stoller following us around at all, have we? This is new. Where the fuck is Phenomenon? Oh, it's up there. Yeah, I have... no. What the fuck? When did I... Oh, right, I did unlock PvP for myself, didn't I? I'm halfway there. I'd need to spend... what? I don't know... a couple of nights there, like, consistently. Have I tried it yet? Have I tried what yet? Oh, I haven't tried the new PvP yet. I think I did that when I was looking at, I was looking at getting, like... So, before 6.1 dropped, I was in the mood for just going, like, how are all of my characters going to go into 6.1? Is anyone going to change anything, blah, blah, blah? And that's why I decided, like, redesigning Rayan a little bit. Which is going to cost 1 Fantasia, because I want to change her eye color. So that's fun. Yeah, I unlocked it after I looked into it and went, oh yeah, okay, there's a couple of things I'd probably want here for some characters, redesigns, blah, blah, blah. I didn't try any of it, though. The new PvP looks good. I want to give that a shot. That seems like... especially the fast nature of it, that seems like it'd be a bit more up my alley. I've been deleting people with Monk, I bet. I apprenticed as Master Matoya at the age of 7, laboured under her tutelage for a full decade. I had never had the chance to attend the studium. Neither did Thancred, as I recall. Soon after Master Louis Soir took him in off the streets, he was put in the care of another Archon. His was a rigorous and practical education in the arts of espionage and survival. Sometimes wonder what my life might have been had I, pursued studies here instead. Tea at the last stand after a day of lectures. Should I wonder as well? Tea at the last stand after a full day of lectures? Oh, that does sound lovely. Afternoons with friends spent sipping tea and debating theories. Still, I wouldn't give up my time with Master Matoya for the world. The dank cave I studied in was about as far from the bright, airy halls of academia as one could get, but it was a wondrous, magical childhood nonetheless. Aww. Zentetsuken 100% plus 3 people is the best Sam experience I ever had. Do you want it hits like a truck, but cast times make it odd. Well, like, I mean, that's Samurai's deal, right? They're like the only melee with cast times. Gunbreaker having no CC outside of your LB is rough. I did see the LB for Samurai, though. It's really fucking cool. Oh, your Shola just walks over the tables. God damn. Ah, visitors. Quite esteemed ones at that. What may I do for you? Pray forgive the intrusion, Scholark, but we were hoping you might help us secure permission to enter Numenon's restricted archives. Ho ho! No furtive forays into the stacks this time, eh? Okay, that wasn't us. I applaud this newfound sense of propriety. Yet in all this wide world of comparative serenity, what so compels you to disturb a vault of forbidden wisdom? Looking to get into the void. Any hints? That'd be really helpful. Like, super helpful. Whoops. Mic again. Fascinating. I had no idea such a technique existed. I would have been surprised if you had. If my assumption is correct, the research left behind by House de Maya has lain dormant in Charlian's archives for many centuries. And if you unearth this research, what then? Surely you don't intend to cross over onto the void. Monteshane, we literally went to the end of the universe on a gamble, basically? What the hell makes you think we wouldn't? Red Machinist is really good. I mean, PvP... Phew. All I know is they extended the recast time on Summoner for Ifrit spells and Summoner for some reason? I still don't know. That is, in fact, precisely what we intend. To what end, pray tell? To develop a method of traversing the rift, for one, but that I might keep my word to a distant friend. sentiment aside, I have journeyed to the end of existence. I have heard, felt, and thought endlessly about... Endlessly about the truth of our world and the echo of its future. And yet I want to understand everything. To unravel it all down to its very last secret. What scholar worthy of the name wouldn't force open a void gate or two if a grand revelation was the promised reward? Oh, marvelous. An audacious proposal worthy of Master Batoya herself. After hearing the whys and the wherefores, I, for one, do not believe you would use the knowledge for ill. I see no reason not to present your request to the forum's consideration. What a bro. Although, your petition would be better received if you also had the support of another well-placed acquaintance. Oh no. Why, Master Fortuno, of course. We can hardly ignore an earnest request from his dear children's most treasured comrades. I was hesitant to approach him directly, but there is no denying that having Master Fortuno on our side would tip the balance in our favor. Very well. We will pay a visit to the Levier estate and plead our case. One last thing before you go. I would consider it a personal favor if you might share with me your the discoveries you make in the void. My appetite for knowledge is every bit as insatiable as yours, I'd wager. So if you could see your way to indulging an old man's curiosity... Of course, Scholark. We will be sure to pass on any revelations. Fucking Y'shtola laying out the hear, feel, think in the past tense. I feel personally attacked. Estate. Oh, Y'shtola's here. Oh, that's right. They added the ability to just teleport around with followers now too, which is good. That was kind of annoying, to be honest. And I get it from like from the 6.0 perspective, they were kind of testing things out, and like along a lot of the paths, you had places you could kind of like talk with your companions along the way. So it made sense to kind of have that restriction to make sure you kind of went through that area. But like I can see them easing it up in places too. It'd probably be a good thing. Plus, like, all they really need to do is then just make sure the talky areas are around whatever destination they kind of like teleport to, and then it's kind of whatever. Ah, Master Aldine, Mistress Y'shtola. How may I be of service? We've come to speak with Master Fortuno. Is he home by any chance? Yes, the Master is in residence. I shall inform him that he has guests. Well, well. Melians would invite you inside for tea, but I assume this is not a social visit. You have some matters of import to discuss. Then pray proceed. You have my full attention. You ever heard of the 13th? A lot of void sent there that need to be punched. Well, I suppose I should praise you for following the proper protocols this time around. Scholark Montaigne expressed much the same sentiment. I assure you, we'll not attempt to circumvent the forum's authority again. Unless it is absolutely necessary, of course. You like jazz? Of course. You do understand that the restricted archives are restricted for good reason, yes? No pressing need exists, then why risk the consequences of employing this forbidden knowledge? For a brother who misses his sister. She was his guardian and his friend, a selfless hero who crossed the rift between worlds to save her homeland from horror and suffering. But the brother has given up on thoughts of reunion. He spends his efforts elsewhere, watching over a people yet healing from the flames of the final days, loyal to his duty while betraying the longing in his heart. It is no vital mission, perhaps, reuniting these siblings, but it feels a worthy cause to pursue all the same. As one who feared losing his own loved ones and spent years in research to prevent it, surely you appreciate how painful such a separation must be. Reflections are still very much a mystery to us. Offering to share your experiences in the first should constitute a fair exchange for our cooperation. Do not celebrate just yet. The Forum must still be convinced. I will add your request to the list of today's deliberations and deliver the decision to you at the Baldessian Annex. Sir, God. I've seen people that have been really I've seen opinions, like, kind of mixed on Y'shtola in terms of, like, in terms of the Scions, right? Like, where does Y'shtola sit? And I feel like for everyone, she's either top tier or lowest tier. Because on one hand, Y'shtola is like the person who doesn't need any growth. Okay, this is a really weird comparison, but she feels like she's Haru in that she's already in a position where she's clearly learned from a lot of experiences, and her whole thing is being that rock for people. Like, being the person that a lot of the Scions can just depend on to do her thing really damn well and still look out for everyone. But then there's moments like this, where I feel like Y'shtola is very, or at least transparently to the player, very clearly changing her motivations depending on who she's talking to get her way. Which, like, is a very, it's subtle, and it doesn't get, like, immediately pointed out to, as far as I can tell. Wait, were you following with this before? I didn't see you before. Weird. Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, Y'shtola's part in the story is to be the solid one, which makes her sometimes a bit boring because she doesn't go through a lot of character arcs, but she's also top tier because she is so damn reliable and so damn good at what she does. And that's one of those moments where I'm like... That's why people consider Y'shtola top tier. Because, like, in a face of trying to communicate and convince people of a request that, let's be honest, endangers the entire of Eorzea, or if not the immediate area, if they go wrong, or if something goes wrong. But depending on the person she's talking to, she very carefully constructs her reasoning and motivation around that. She was my favorite until they gave us G'raha. Definitely fair. Because I feel like G'raha has the best of both. He has a story where he kind of grows, and then, like, he has an arc being learned that is very interesting. Whereas Y'shtola, again, has always been solid, but she doesn't have as big an obvious front and center up and down, or like a rock bottom to, like, top tier moment, if you understand what I mean. But yeah. Oh. So, what did the Forum decide? To put it bluntly, Master Mistoya has burned some bridges here in Sharlayan, salt of the earth for good measure. When it became clear that her student was the petitioner in question, well, no few members voiced their discontent. Then the chamber was reminded, in no uncertain terms I might add, of the incredible debt we owe to you and your companions. You're going to make me say it, aren't you? That served to silence the grumbles and stiffen a few spines, and it was agreed that allowing you entry to the archives was the least we could do in return. That is wonderful news. Thank you for speaking on our behalf. Yes, well, as I am sure you are aware, this permission was not extended lightly. Forbidden knowledge is to be treated with the utmost caution, and there will be repercussions if it is not. I wish you well in your endeavor, and bid you good day. Ever the same, that one. Uncompromising? Aye. But that very stoicism is exactly what Charlian needed to guide it through not one but two exoduses. Yeah, fair. That went rather well, I think. As a child, I dreamed up any number of schemes for getting my hands on those forbidden tomes. Now I can simply walk in through the door. Our focus will be on finding House Demire's, or Demire's? Oh, fuck, I forget how to pronounce it already. Research notes, of course, but the thought of so much knowledge at my disposal has me feeling a little giddy. Uh-huh. I hope we go there. That would be fun. Montechane is waiting to offer you further instructions. You'll be heading directly to the archives from here, I presume. You presume correctly. Then you'll want to speak with the index page when you arrive. It's been instructed to grant you access to the restricted section. Excellent. Once again, we thank you for all your help. Oh, it was my pleasure, believe me. May you find the knowledge you seek. Shall we? Schlar is now accompanying you. Yay! Got any talky places again? We sure do. I probably should have checked the map to see if we had any talky places before talking to the I don't even know what to call him. The butler at the front of House Levio. To think the set of instructions I laughingly imagined may actually exist but yalms away from where we've... To think that the set of instructions I laughingly imagined may actually exist but yalms away from where you found me napping. If I had known of Alzadal III's exploits sooner, I could have... Oh, excuse me, I thought that was a cough. Saved myself days of research. Even a children's book might have pointed me in the right direction. To achieve the impossible, one must needs be flexible of mind and look beyond conventional wisdom. A lesson I had already learned, but clearly not taken to heart. Door. Mature woman. Archon, Y'shtola, and guest identified. Do you wish to proceed into the restricted archives? Follow me if you would. Watch your step, and please note that the use of naked flames is discouraged. Oh, I'm glad I didn't have Ifrit summon then. Is that new tunes I hear? Actually, no, wait. This might be Google. This might be Google hard music. Oh yeah, this is Google hard music, I think.
If House Demire's notes are to be found anywhere, it will be here. Let us begin.
I use books as a weapon. I should be good at this. Damir, yeah. I'm glad I picked that music immediately, actually. That makes me feel good. Okay, where to start? Following pages detail an advanced method of manipulating rift span. Shut the fuck up. I found it first, but I want to read the other books. Following pages detail an advanced method of manipulating rift spanning apertures as devised by Nuhashan, the ninth patriarch of House Daimir. We present these research notes to the faculty of Sharlayan Studium as both a token of our friendship and an expression of our boundless admiration. You appear to have located the forbidden volume you seek. Shola will need to make the final confirmation. Fuck! Are you serious? They went away! I want to look through the restricted archives, you shits! Oh, god damn it! Wait, can I just abandon the quest? Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, I can't. Son of a bitch. Ah. Well, I guess I'll have to take Ray through the fucking MSQ sooner than I thought just to read the other books. Fuck me. Have something you'd like to show me, do you? My apologies, I flipped open but a single book and was completely absorbed by the contents. I wish I could do that. I want to read the books in here. I want to read the fucking books. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually kind of frustrating, because I'm pretty sure, when you explore the other part of the library, you might be able to find them online. I'm gonna go through the game with other characters anyway. Fuck, it's whatever. Oh, I guess I could, like, look at them right now, though. That's a good point. What's the name of this quest? Restricted reading. Restricted reading. Okay, I think this person started at the wrong end, so this looks promising. So, for reference, I'm going to be reading from this video. And I've got it muted because I'm just going to read the text as it comes up. Today in a world not... so, Untitled Goldsmith's Journal. This is the one that was at the foot of the stairs immediately opposite me. Today in a world not my own, I met the most beautiful void-born creature. She was so unlike her ravenous brethren, eyes blazing not with hunger, but trembling like a candle's flame, threatening to flicker out at any moment. Hold up. I wonder if she is even the proper word, such distractions seem inconsequential. Insignificant, even. Or such distinctions seem inconsequential. All that matters is the love I feel for this exquisite, transcendent being. Wait. What did that say? Though you are tempted to read more, this does not seem to be the volume you are seeking. I knew void sent fuckers would be a thing. Talking to index page says, No smoking, no throwing books, and no yelling out Eureka in an obnoxiously loud voice. Very good. Weighty tomes. So this was the other book that was there. In the year 1564 of the 6th astral era, the Amalja summoned Ifrit, their patron god. Accounts describe the being as a gigantic lizard-like being with a potent command of fire-aspected magics. If we consider that primal summoning is an act fueled by faith and prayer, it is unsurprising, if not expected, that the resulting deiform entity should manifest the appearance and powers with which it is attributed by its worshippers. What then might emerge from the ether should one who believes in an almighty omniscience attempt the same ritual? Would the scholar himself grace us with his presence? Some other embodiment of divine sagacity? Or sagacity? Could this man-made god truly be all-knowing? Or, if it were, whence would such knowledge arise? I myself have questions concerning the nature of the ancient world. With no spell to transport me back to the days of old, could I instead summon a being possessed of encyclopedic knowledge of every age? Yet with no means to verify its pronouncements, how could one be certain they were true? Huh. God, I really wish I could have seen those in the game without accidentally completing the fucking quest. So one of them was just someone being attracted to a void scent. The other was, like, literally pondering the extent to which creation magics, as we have been able to employ them in primal summoning, would actually extend to warping reality as opposed to just having our conception of warping reality, if that makes sense. Like the key thing there that it brings up is, if you want to summon an all-knowing being, is that being all-knowing, or does that being appear all-knowing to the best of your ability? Which is an interesting thought, honestly. Thank you. Hang on, I'm gonna... Eric Woolham for that. I'm glad someone put that up. Yes. A forbidden research log detailing an advanced method for manipulating rift-spanning apertures as devised by Nuhashan, the 9th patriarch of House Damien. Found it first go. Well done, Aldine. I think you may have found our prize. Alright, lay it on me, Stoller. And thus we return to normal Google music.
Yes, the ether signature is unmistakable. I've felt the traces of House Damia's resonance many times at the Great Work. Time to see what all the fuss was about.
Interesting cover. We don't have the technology to have people open books. I
Among the
recognize
ranks
that.
of the Void Sent, there exist entities with the power to call forth their brethren from beyond. The species known as Atomos, however, is uniquely prodigious in this regard.
Go to bed, newest girl. God damn it.
From its distended maw, it can expel an endless procession of void-born creatures. A talent which sorely tested the Radiant Host in its battles against these abominations. Surmising that the entity itself was acting as a void gate, we endeavored to capture a small specimen and subsequently examine its physiological structure. Our findings revealed that the Atomos had absorbed a planar fissure into its own flesh, which it could expand at will into a functioning gate.
Oh.
Upon further analysis, we identified an ethereal wave pattern emitted during this process. A pattern we were able to emulate by passing crystal-stored ether through a specially designed prism. We proceeded to embed said prism into an arcane simulacrum, thus completing what we have dubbed our artificial Atomos.
So that was the artificial void scent they created.
How could I have been so blind to the possibilities? This species, not to mention its ability to summon void scent, has been discussed among academics for years now. Just before the advent of the 7th Umbral Calamity, we received reports of Atomos sightings from every corner of Eorzea. Surely you've at least heard the tales.
Did we?
And still, House Daemir went and built a mock Atomos of their very own. I'm not surprised the Archons consigned their work to a restricted archive.
This is 1.0 stuff, by the way. It would show up and act like a proto-Fate and attack settlements. Is this the kind of stuff that happened, like, just before the... This is stuff that happened just before the end of the game, right? When, like, Dalamud was, like, clearly hanging in the sky and enemies were just spawning everywhere, right? Because that is a hell of a throwback.
But at last we've unearthed the volume we've been searching for.
Wait, can you just keep that, or...?
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted to stay longer. See what other forbidden titles might be lurking on these shelves?
Yeah, no, I remember that, Valk. That's why I said that's why I said I recognized it. There's 2 places I've seen that. One of them is in footage of treasure hunts, and the second was in the World of Darkness. There's a boss where all 3 Alliance raids split off to kill an Atmos. This was a little before that, but it was in the lead up to it. Ah, okay, so probably still like the structured stuff before they just started spawning enemies everywhere.
Ah, but that would be abusing the very special privilege we've been granted now, wouldn't it? Better not.
Okay. As much as I would love to start crafting the Atmos, I'm afraid this is excuse me. This is far outside my field of expertise. Fortunately, we know a Harnish alchemist who would be delighted to involve herself in our House Daemir project. Our business here is concluded for the moment. Please pass on our regards to the forum. Your message will be conveyed. Should you wish to indulge in more forbidden literature, I will be here. Patron mode disabled. Security mode enabled. If anyone can help us, Nidada can. I say we return to Thavnir and look for her at the great work. Oh boy. But the thing is that even if we construct an artificial Atmos, right? Well, no, I guess the thing is that, like, what they use the Atmos for is to strengthen a portal that is not directly part of it. And doing that to natural tears would not require something else to guide you through it. Well, at least in theory, I guess. It's kind of unclear if that is actually the case, but... Yeah, I guess there's a number of ways they could probably employ it that all make sense. Like, you could use an artificial Atmos to just... Oh, sorry, we're not going to the fucking... We're not going to Raz. We're going here. these sallow, sleep-deprived faces, but their eyes still burn with fiery zeal. Some things never change. I need to do the rest of the Shadowbringer role quest before 6.2. Yeah, I probably do as well. Your stola tells me you are pursuing a most fascinating study, and that you want me to be a part of it. I have no doubt you'll be interested. This research log should speak for itself. Yeah, we just took a book from the restricted section. Will it now? Please, sisters. This is a mark of House Damir. I never knew such a work existed. Few should. It was sequestered in Numenon's restricted archives, after all. It was? But that means every word is forbidden knowledge. Forbidden tome filled with forbidden research, and you put it right into my unsuspecting hand? I can hardly wait to read it. I love her so much. Oh. To think that the Daimia were developing such marvelous techniques so long ago. How many innovations have been lost over the centuries, I wonder? Now that you've glanced over the notes, what say you to helping us build a new mock Atomos? I say yes! 1,000 times yes! Work on a Daimia project that had been the redoubtable, that had even the redoubtable scholars of Sharlayan trembling in their sandals? No alchemist of the Great Word could resist. You're a woman after my own heart. Oh, I suppose I should ask, what do you mean to do with this big-mouthed simulacrum once you've built it? Go into the void. So, there's a secret void gate, and it's sealed in the ruins at the bottom of the bounty? Today is a day of revelations indeed. If the purpose of our man-made Atmos is to expand this hidden portal, then I will need to see it for myself, I think. Manipulating rift-spanning apertures is not the sort of thing you would want to attempt without first taking into account every single factor. Then by all means, accompany us to the vault. I plan to lead us back there shortly, once we've finished gathering the components I require. What? Sharlayan's markets provided the raw aquamarine and pure water crystals, but I might need help obtaining a small quantity of astrally infused water. For such a liquid, you need go no further than the font of Maya. The ascetics of old once favored the place for their meditations, and the water which pools there now is known to enliven the flow of ether. That sounds perfect. If you would be so kind as to fill a flask at the pool, I will petition Vreetra to join us. The idea I have in mind won't amount to much without his authority to command the Void Gate. Shall we be about it then? We meet back here and on. Okay, so where am I going? Inspect the astrally dense pocket of... Oh. Oh. I don't know how astrally dense it is. Actually, sorry. Now that that's bringing up memories of the MSQ, I have to admit, like, so I've watched people go through this section of the game in particular, like the bit you go through in this area in the MSQ the first time you come here. And for me, when I first did it, I thought this section lasted like hours. Or at least it felt it like it did, right? But it doesn't really last that long. Which I think speaks to the, like, dread and, like, the, like, suffocating nature of the ordeal that happens in this area. And how well it's handled. Because it really feels like you spend far longer than you actually do in this area. And I think it's entirely up to the tone. Ugh. That was very short. Oh, Estinian's here. The Moy Merhard and is always glad to hear the news of the Foundation. It means a new life for him and his sister. That's good. Hi, Varshan. Archon Stola requested that I join you, but of her plan, she offered scant detail. Oh, I forgot to mention, the Fount of Maya attracts aggressive wildlife, and you should watch out for them when you go there next time. My apologies. Do you have that flask for me? A flask filled with astrally infused water, scooped from a strangely specific point in the depths of the Fount of Maya. Yes, this should suffice. Thank you, Aldine. Void theory. Stoller is eager to depart for the vault. Look who I come across. Estinian seemed in need of a diversion, and we, in turn, may have need of his lance. Right then, now that our little party is assembled, let us make our way to the ruins. Will we have need of Matsuya's boat again? Not this time. Once Stoller informed me of our destination, I arranged for a vessel to be made ready at Akiali. Your Excellency is ever the gracious host. Shall we? Someone's gonna get dragged into the fucking void, aren't they? I can't shake that feeling. Ugh. Either that, or we're gonna get a glimpse of, Vritra's, we're gonna get a glimpse of Ajdaya. It's one of the two. I'm not sure which I find worse, to be honest. You need not keep your weapons close at hand. The Guardians will not attack if I am present, so I pray you leave them be. Yeah, we don't want to have an expensive replacement again. And all this time I thought the tales of Alzadal's horde were no more than drunken sailors' fancies. It's likely not needed with Varshan along, but I held onto the map against the chance we might return to the ruins. Onto the boat, if you please. We can chat on the way there. The ship is yours to command. Our thanks. We set sail at once. Oh, this is so exciting. As Alzatal's legacy, to see the truth of a legend with my own eyes. All aboard for the treasure vault. I really hope we all bought warding scales. We don't know what the tear is going to do once we get here, so like... Ooh, we cleared this place of constructs last time we came through. It seemed a few stragglers remained. Don't tell me we killed them. Poor Vritra. You should have spoken with Estinian before we left. Shudder to think what we've cost them in terms of construct materials. Estinian! How could you? How could you do the thing we explicitly did not tell you not to do? He laid waste to them ere I could utter a single word. Someone should have probably told him beforehand, but... You know, here we are, owing the satrap even more now.
The ruins alone were impressive enough. But I never dreamed such a treasure lay hidden in the depths of the bounty. It may have been helpful to know this device existed, Your Excellency.
My apologies. The gate was a secret I shared with none but my closest advisors. I feared for what might happen should those with ill intentions learn of its existence.
Yeah, that's definitely fair.
What is it you're doing now?
There's something I wish to verify. The NOAA reports claim that a short stint into the void carries little risk of etheric imbalance. Should one suffer an injury, however, or if one's expedition drags on longer than intended, that risk becomes significantly greater. Graha theorized that a warding scale would confer protection from the void's corrupting influence. But I would prefer to test that hypothesis before we set foot in the 13th ourselves.
Good idea.
So, this is an experiment of sorts.
Yes, an experiment. Tell me, how would you go about testing the efficacy of the warding scale?
Expose it to a stupid amount of ether. Might as well go myself, say nothing and look meaningfully. Might as well go myself.
And how would you do that? The gate is still too small for any of us to pass through.
Estinian is correct, which is why I've elected to send a familiar in our stead.
Okay, it was the...
Now, a lowly imp can navigate a fissure, no matter how narrow. Which means an arcane entity of similar stature should be able to manage the same. I hadn't wanted it to come to this, but no other familiars will do, I'm afraid.
Yeah, what did they say when you're a Lalafell? That'd be interesting.
I mislike the sound of that. What manner of fiend does she mean to summon?
What did she say? I hadn't wanted it to come to this, but no other familiars will do, I'm afraid.
From ocean rise and cloudbank form, from mountain spring and rainfall storm, from river flow and life be born. Water, water, froth and fire!
Ready your arms. I fear she's been possessed.
I kind of can't blame him for that, to be honest.
Oh, come now. That was adorable.
Wait. Right. The shit in fucking Matoya's... Oh my god, she's so embarrassed!
Though not my first choice. These familiars I conceived of as a child have the best chance of fitting through the gate.
Oh my god, that's so fucking cute! God. Fuck!
I only wish my younger self had considered a more dignified ending to the creation ritual. In any case, these two should serve us well.
There's the music.
This one will bear a warding scale.
Head on, apply directly to the
And when
forehead.
they return from the 13th, we can observe how the talisman, or absence thereof, has affected the progress of the Void's corruption. If I could impose upon you to open the gate. Your Excellency?
Ah, yes, of course.
We should also be wary of void scent slipping through while we conduct our experiment. Estinian, you are to keep Nadana safe from harm.
As you say.
You had best be on your guard as well.
Froth and... No.
And we are glad for it. Let us begin, shall we? Nixies, into the void.
So, how long are we keeping this open for? Ah. Struggle to picture Y'shtola as a little girl. Easy to believe she sprang fully formed from one of Master Matoya's cauldrons. Ah, she's forever 23. Sister, save me. I would never see Y'shtola the same way again. Froth and foam indeed. Every time I come here, it reminds me of that dark portal above the Crystal Tower. The final lashed of Ashdaya's tail as she plunged into the void. We need to wait for a time to ensure a meaningful result. Be patient and keep watch for any intruders. Okay, I can do that. Oh my god, Nidhana is so precious.
I think we've waited long enough. Nixies, return to my side.
Oh shit, she's gonna pull something from the fucking gate, isn't she? Oh no. Okay. Oh. Well. Oh.
Thank you, little one. You did well.
Poor thing. Its essence has been irrevocably warped.
Okay, so we need the scales. I guess the question is, though, is this one completely fine?
We're out of time. I must reseal the void gate.
They're coming through!
In the name of Alzadal III, I bar this door unto the void.
Okay. All right. The only problem now is that something knows about the tear.
Well, that was a sharp lesson in the dangers of void gates.
And what of our experiment? I'd say the results speak for themselves.
The unprotected Nixie has suffered extensive etheric corruption. As Nidana observed, it's well on its way to becoming a void scent. The one merged with the talisman, however, appears unaffected. I sense no changes to its equilibrium.
Okay, so, like, immune, but
Rest now, little ones.
I guess for how long? That also only protected a tiny
Raha's
being,
theory
so...
was correct then.
So it would seem. But while our second familiar was untouched by void energies, the talisman itself shows signs of degradation.
There it is.
It was, of course, originally designed to shield the soul from primal tempering. It stands to reason that etheric corruption of a different sort would affect it differently. We may need to modify the warding scale's design to account for the 13th's uniquely unstable ether.
You've said much of the Void's instability, but my imagination fails me. What manner of place is this broken world?
Ah, my apologies. I forget that not all of us spend our days sequestered in dusty archives. The 13th is a reflection of the source that was drowned in a flood of darkness. In Emmett Selk's own words, this tragedy was a result of the Ascians' attempts to force a rejoining. They erred in their haste, and made of that world a useless void. And what of your own experience? Will you tell us of what you observed during Noah's expedition?
Well, the entire place was flooded with darkness. It was completely fucked up, and nothing there wasn't void sent.
I can picture it now. The sunless, Stygian expanse, infested with legions of ether-starved monstrosities. A void in every sense of the word.
What you have described in such lurid detail is exactly why I hesitate to encourage you.
Worry not, great Vritra. Our journey into the 13th is but the first leg of a longer voyage. A voyage that shall lead us to other reflections, to new mysteries and discoveries. And I mean to be there every step of the way. But first, I must focus on refining the warding talisman.
Then I can begin work on constructing an artificial Atomos. Or I could if I had the relevant manuals to hand. Might I be so bold as to request access to the Satrap's family archives?
Wait, weren't all the things burnt? Would you actually find...
Your Excellency?
Oh, yes. That can be arranged. I will speak to my officials upon our return.
We will see you back in the city then.
Someone talk... No? Okay. Estinian. Come on, man. You can read them. Fuck. Satrap's duty. You shall ponders the next stage of your preparations to enter the void. We've had a hell of a lot of spoken cutscenes in this. I was trying to think after the last stream, like, how many of the MSQ quests had voice cutscenes in them in Shadowbringers. And obviously, to some degree, like, Shadowbringers is a bit of an anomaly, being mostly... well... No, the patches would have been made during the pandemic. A lot of it being during the pandemic and, like, when, you know, people hadn't settled into working during the pandemic and stuff like that. I wonder how much that actually affected it, but also how much that's just increased over time, like, as the expansions, like, development process and the way it, like, you know, maps out, like, where it needs voices and stuff like that, the planning that takes place, like, how much that's been refined and has helped there be more voiced cutscenes like this. Once Nidana succeeds in replicating the Mock Atomos, this door into the 13th will be ours to open. Will you be crossing the threshold to get alongside us? I realize this is more my endeavor than yours. To be honest, I've no interest in visiting the Void myself. Might we discuss this later? There's something I must first do. Oh, okay. Why does everyone insist on being so secretive? I at least had good reason for not wanting to explain my Nixie ritual. Shall we proceed with our other preparations then? As we saw, the warding scale can be effective at protecting the bearer from other sources of etheric corruption. Nevertheless, the talisman's durability will need to be improved if it is to withstand the Void's influence for a prolonged length of time. And I think that is a problem we can address without involving the brilliant, but busy alchemists who created it. Who do we know who excels at this kind of structural augmentation? Well, I would have said, Garland Ironworks, but theirs is not the magical realm. Give me options. Garland Ironworks. Sure. No, I guess they do deal with ether a lot. I mean, fucking Sid and Alphino came up with the whole breaking an elemental barrier with other aspected ether by themselves. That's actually not, like, Garland do work with Magitech, which is ether-powered tech. Yeah, no, I forgot that those things aren't actually as dissimilar as I think. So, like, just having something that is infused with ether would be like, ah, yeah, we know how to kind of make... We work with ether, we can make this stronger, sort of thing. Fuck. As I recall, Sid himself is no stranger to the Void and its volatile energies. Also true. Them and the Sons of St. Koinak were the people who fucking helped us get through to the Crystal Tower in the first place. With his experienced hand at the helm, I have every confidence that the Ironworks can strengthen the warding scale. Come, let us visit their operation in Ralga's Reach and commission their best and brightest. They're still in Ralga's Reach? Huh. Well, I guess they have, like, a little thing there because of the Omega incident, right? Oh, we're just going there. Neat. Ew, what the fuck is that? Got, like, a part of a spiderweb on my eyelid. Or eyelashes, rather. Perhaps this young man can help us can locate Sid for us. Aldine, what brings you to the Ironworks? We have a commission for you and your president, actually. Assuming he's available. Master Sid? Certainly, I'll see if he has a free moment. Or a moment free. Whatever. Pleasure as always. I hear you have a job for us. Heading into the void to find a lost dragon. Sounds almost pedestrian compared to your last adventure. Honestly, I don't know if you could say anything that would surprise me after meeting on that bloody mess. Alright, let's take a look at this talisman of yours. You said there were signs of degradation? Wait, why do I have it? Seems some manner of corrosion has set in around a scratch on its surface. Such as the void's corruption seeped into Nero through his wounds. In which case, our best bet may be to simply prevent the scale from being damaged in the first place. And how might we achieve that? We have a coating agent for strengthening trinkets and the like, but I'd be wary of applying any compound which might upset the scale's delicate chemical balance. Far safer to dress it in armor. What? We'll construct a protective casing, one utilizing metal alloys with high etherical conductivity, so as to not impede the talisman's primary function. A suit of armor, as you said. Nero has compiled data on the 13, so I'll have him pitch in with the design just to be sure. If only it weren't such an ordeal to convince him to follow our safety protocols. I swear I've never had such a reckless employee. In any case, we may need some time to untangle the particulars. Understandable. We know how busy your schedule is, and the final result will doubtless be worth the wait. Huh. The hard part will be ducking Jessie and her constant barrage of demands, while we sneak about doing the fun stuff. We'll see what we can do. Fuck yeah, thanks, Sid. Alright, I guess we have to fucking wait then. I think we can leave the rest in Sid's capable hands. Let's return to the great work and see how Nidhana is getting on with the mock Atomos. Damn it, we didn't just teleport back. I was kind of expecting that, to be honest, but... That entire the entire cutscene before that was probably loading up thingy in the background. Which probably makes sense. Oh Jesus, it's already been an hour and 40 minutes. I think I've been through that ether portal, like, more than direct teleporting anywhere, I feel. Post MSQ, I guess. Feels like I'm always going specifically to Fafnir.
Hey, Stola. The adjustments are going well, I hope?
'Tis a lengthy process, but the end is in sight, yes.
Don't... They haven't even started working on it yet, Y'shtola. You can't be doing this.
That's wonderful news. I myself had some good fortune searching through the Satrap's private records. What I found was a transaction log dated around the same period as when Al-Zadal's legacy was built. It included a purchase list of highly exclusive alchemical components. And I knew I'd discovered the key to making the artificial atomos. I then visited the High Crucible to commission the materials. After I'd explained my requirements, I was beset by volunteers insisting I allow them to help with the entire project.
The usual reaction to someone forcing open a void gate is to run for the hills. Harnish academics certainly are a different breed.
That they are.
The alchemists of old were cut from a similar cloth. The unknown held no fear for them. Indeed, They were ever eager to seek new knowledge, regardless of the danger.
And were you not also fearless, heedless even, in your determination?
My sire entered his dormancy before I was hatched. And so it was Ashdaya who kept my eggs safe and warm. It created a bond between us. Even long after I learned to fend for myself, I rarely strayed from her side. She was my guardian, my sister, my dear companion. And not a single day passes that I do not mourn her absence. No matter how deep the darkness, I would not surrender my search. I promised myself the time would come when we would once more take to the skies together. But I am satrap now.
The Radiant Host is here to serve, Your Excellency.
Huh?
Nabdeen, what is this about?
Sir Estinian told us of your predicament.
Estinian!
For centuries you have protected Rads at Han, never showing your true self, hiding behind a curtain and living only in service to the people. Your dedication meant more to us than your deceit, and so did we accept you as our rightful ruler.
Is that Graha's voice actor?
After all that you have sacrificed for this nation, did you imagine we would begrudge you your heart's desire? We survived the final days. We are a strong and proud people. We, the Radiant Host, will keep Thavnair safe in your absence.
I am grateful for your loyalty and for your encouragement. And yet,
Now you listen to me, Varshan. You are wearing that face, after all. As I have told you before, you are a little brother to us all. And if you are family, then so too is your sister. We are there for you if you need us. But do not ask us to sit by and watch while you abandon a sibling you have ached to rescue for millennia.
We will succeed in opening the way. It is only a matter of time. All you need do is prepare to step through to the other side.
Motherfucker. How dare you?
Your Excellency, I wanted to thank you for building the orphanage. It means so much that my sister and I will have a place to be together, safe and happy. And I hope that you and your sister can be together again too.
To protect them well, you must take heart.
take heart and protect them well. Such were the words I once said to you, and here I stand, failing to live up to them. If my heart is torn, I am fit to protect neither Ashdaya nor Radzatan. My people, I have come to a decision. Vashan will depart Thavnir for a time. My dragon self will remain in the palace, but only to conduct the satrap's most essential duties. While I am focused on controlling this vessel, there may be matters that escape my attention. I rely on you, my trusted friends, to watch over one another until I return.
Take care, and fair fortune, little brother. Many tears would be shed should you come to harm.
I would not dare make you cry.
Shut up. You can't say that after that scene. Fuck off. Okay, one thing I do have to quickly mention is I really love how how the trailer for this patch, like, really doesn't talk about what's going to happen. The way that line in particular is used, for example, especially with, like, the scenes you see kind of put next to each other, lends a different tone to what the actual line is used for. Sorry, I'm gonna be a real fucking nerd here and talk about, like, the more specifics of this. Dan Olson has a great video on something called the Kuleshov effect, which is basically the implications one draws from a piece of media cutting from one scene to another. So, for example, you see Varshan struggling to control something with ether, and while that line is being said, it cuts to Graha's fist closing. So, A, you connect the two as if they're as if they might be tangentially connected. Not necessarily the case, obviously, because of the trailer, but because of the line that's been spoken over it, it lends itself to that effect. You start thinking about how those things might be connected, and thus you join, for example, that maybe Varshan failed to defend your friends, which is why I had this sense of, like, oh god, something's going to happen with this portal, isn't it? And nothing happened. Like, the tone set by each of those scenes is actually completely disconnected, but whoever put it together very clearly wanted to present something that was intriguing, that wasn't actually true, but would get you thinking a lot. Oh, fuck. So good. Anyway, fuck this game for making me cry again. What? Someone needed to give that boy a good talking to. You don't suppose I'll be reprimanded, do you? I did just yell at the satrap. Convincing others to follow their hearts is not my forte. Would have gladly let our more philosophical comrades take the lead, had they been here. I will not squander this chance you have given me. I will find Ajdaya. We'll have that Atamos built before you know it. When a project like this comes along, we give it our full and undivided attention. Sleep? Ha! Who needs it? Oh, that reminds me. I really should finish that other project I was working on for His Excellency. See, this is where Aldine in particular would be taking out the mallet. Like, no, you're gonna fucking sleep. I know how that gets. Don't you? Nope. Absolutely not. It's good to see you're safe. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll gladly answer. Huh? Who are you? I am one of the many alchemists who live here and work here. I was once a botanist, but found alchemy calling to me every time I came to deliver my ingredients. Though at first I struggled with even the most basic alchemical compounds, I have somehow managed to earn my place at the great work. There is always room to improve, but the science and the self, however... This is the great... Oh, okay, this is just... Yeah, alright. Fair enough. I thought you were here because of MSQ, but clearly not. Aye. You surprised me, Estinian. For a lone wolf, you've shown an unusual degree of, shall we say, involvement in helping reach this conclusion. 'Twas for the greater good. The worm's thundering sighs were keeping his citizens awake at night, and then travelers believing the palace racked by some unnatural storm. What of your own answer, then? You seem disinclined to venture into the void. When I was one with Nidhogg, his vengeful thoughts were my thoughts. His endless rage, my rage. The soul-chilling grief he nursed for Ratatoska's death. I would not wish such an agony upon a foe, let alone a friend and ally. If there is a chance we can spare Reacher that pain, then I will follow you. Unusual crew we have. Any other former Scions we should call on? Just the 4 of us, then. Unusual crew we have. Indeed, but perfect for our purpose, I should think. I'd rather not bother the Scions with aught less than a dire threat to the star. Now, on to specifics. Unlike the first, where the flood of light was halted before its devastation was complete, the 13th has been utterly subsumed by darkness. My plan, as such, is to explore the void in stages, withdrawing to safety after each brief foray. It would be more convenient had we some manner of base camp nearer to the gate itself. One of the palace chambers would serve. Come, let us reconvene outside Megaduta. Alright. I was put up in a guest room in the palace while I awaited my audience with Vritra. I expect we'll be given the use of something similar. Conducting our expedition out of the Rising Stone should raise just as many questions as recruiting too many Scions. At least here in Razat Han, we might be expected to appear road-weary from our local explorations. True. And so we will require suitable accommodations. Might we make something available for our guests? All the chambers are presently hosting the great mounds of treasure we carried out of the vault. Once the Foundation's activities begin in earnest, however, we can redistribute the trove and make a room or two ready for a habitation. Good. Please inform me when you've completed the arrangements. As you heard, we will have you settled in Megaduta in due time. As ever, you are most gracious, Your Excellency. You risk yourselves to aid me in my search for Ajdaya. Providing comfortable quarters is the least I can do. I only wish we knew more about our destination. The gods only know how long our explorations might possibly take, or what our chances of success might possibly be. Succeed or fail, I am grateful to you for convincing me to make the attempt. On that note, I will return to the great work and lend what help I can to Nitana. If you've preparations to make her, we venture into the 13th. Now is the time. All I need is my armor and my lance. Perhaps I'll train with the Radiant Host to pass the time before we depart. What the fuck am I gonna do? You know what this means to me, Aldine, but my purpose need not consume you as well. We are headed into another world. Find what joy you can in the experience, for you are a traveler, an adventurer at heart. This I know. Always crit. Meanwhile, back here. With the mysterious cloud. Yep, it's that void scent. I fucking knew it. Although they look a little different. Oh, interesting. Maybe it...
And thus I am returned.
You're not a dragoon.
To be swallowed, bereft of saviors.
Let paths unwalked, adventurers spur, pulses quicken, spirits stir. Interesting. So... So that clearly was what remains of Xenos' Void Scent, which, given the events that occurred at the end of the MSQ in 6.0, merging with Xenos, but being killed in that form, I could probably, like, give that, yeah, it would have some warping. Like, it wasn't killed, they separated and that was it. Like, the Void Center's, like, taken on a bit of Xenos into them or something like that. That'd probably make a decent amount of sense. Especially that line about, like, bereft of saviors, because it rings very similar to the line, the parting line that Xenos left us with, regarding... Well, not the parting line, but, like, the line he spoke before he battled us, which was regarding, like, oh, you're returning to that place where you're regarded as a hero. I guess the question is, like, how much of Xenos is actually in that Void Scent, right? Or, how much of the Void Scent actually influenced Xenos? That would be, honestly, a really interesting, or an unusual take on that, right? Like, maybe his focus on, like, well, okay. Not necessarily that Xenos was affected by it. Let me rephrase that. More that, perhaps the Void Scent was chosen because of its affinity with Xenos' outlook, which would kind of, you know, there's a similarity there in their focus on, like, heroes and things like that, which might just be nothing, to be fair. I feel like that's bait, though. I feel like the fact that it resembles Xenos to some degree is just... That's just... Yeah. It resembles Xenos a bit, because it was fused with Xenos. Like, literally, maybe that's it to it. And honestly, that would probably be fine. Like, obviously, they'd probably retain, like, knowledge of what the fuck transpired. But beyond that, I get the feeling that's probably not anything substantial that remains of Xenos, but rather stuff or something that the Void Sent took as it kind of like dissipated from Xenos dying. Interesting. You know what? We'll do some Elden Ring. Why the hell not? What? Sorry, I'm trying to do some counting. I guess I could get another, like, 2 hours or so into Elden Ring, and it won't be, like, super late or anything like that. Or maybe I'll call it a night early and... Oh, maybe I'll call it a night early and just have, like, a... Because this is, like, a... This holiday is meant to be, like, a very, like, low-key time for me. So, like, maybe I'll take it easy tonight, let that be the stream, because it has been, like, 2 hours, which is a decent stream for a Thursday night. And I'll just have a night to myself, and then tomorrow night I'm planning on playing stuff anyway, so maybe I'll do Elden Ring there, and we can have a good large session there. Yeah, I think that's probably better. I don't particularly feel the need to stream much more tonight, and honestly, given the week I just had, I should probably make sure I sleep and not exhaust myself too much, because I obviously still want to do Disco Elysium and shit like that. And we've hit the end of 6.1, so I don't have to worry about spoilers or anything like that anymore. Not that there was too much to spoil, honestly, but the fact that there wasn't anything to spoil was probably the thing that is actually a spoiler, because it's like, yeah, there's not too much to it. Whereas, like, obviously there's some anticipation for some stuff going on, but, yeah. No, I think that sounds like a good idea. I'll leave it at that tonight. It'll also give me a chance to catch up on the VODs that I haven't highlighted yet, which, starting to pile up now, so, yeah. Yeah, so tomorrow night, I'm gonna do some Elden Ring. And then Saturday, Sunday, I will be playing some more Disco Elysium. Which reminds me, I need to figure out what the fuck I'm playing after Disco Elysium, because that might be wrapping up soon. I ended up, like, skimming Wooly's playthrough of Disco Elysium just to see some, like, key highlight points, and I couldn't help but notice that, like, the point I'm at the moment seems to be in the last, like, 20 to 15% of the game, so I'm probably going to do some side quest stuff before I actually go on the boat, but probably nearing the end, so there's that. So yeah, Disco Elysium set... Ooh, that's a bad angle, my dude. There we go. So yeah, tomorrow night, Elden Ring, Saturday, the days after that, Disco Elysium in the mornings. And then the week, I'm definitely not doing anything Friday, for reasons. I don't know what Thursday and Saturday are going to be like, honestly. But given that I've got a long weekend following that Friday, I might just shift my usual weekend streams to Sunday, Monday instead of Saturday, Sunday. I've got to figure out some travel stuff because I'm going to see family. And none of them live near me anymore, which is certainly a thing of getting older. None of my family lives nearby. But yeah. It's probably going to be a little bit of a quiet week. I do want to do something during the day on some day during the week. I don't know what I'm going to do. I feel like I'd probably pick up Paladin and just, like, burn through a bunch of it. See how far I can get. I don't know what else I'm going to be doing during the week. There's a few things I want to get done and I can't do that during, like, the public holidays, unfortunately, which is the majority of the time I'm taking off. So I'm gonna have to, yeah, I'm gonna have to think of how I'm gonna schedule everything around, like, traveling and just having to do stuff during the day. Who knows, maybe I'll do, like, a day stream on Monday or something like that. Do, like, a couple of extra weekends, and then have, like, a day during the week, and then a couple more nights on the weekend, and yeah, I'll figure something out. I'll at least have the schedule for the next couple of days up, so there's that. But yeah, at this point I'm rambling, so best finish it off there. So, thank you very much for watching live or on the VODs, I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a lovely day, and I hope to see you all next time.